हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम बैक टू योर फेवरेट चैनल। हम आज पढ़ेंगे सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक वायरस। सो वायरस इज नॉट ए complete living or a non-living. Why it is called living? Because it can grow inside the parasite, but it cannot grow outside the body. It act as a inert material. It don't have the any metabolic system, so that is non-living characteristics. So viruses are both cellular and living and non-living characteristics. Viruses are living organisms but acellular. That means the virus contain only two part. The main two part, one part is capsid, which is a protein code, and the second part is the genome, that can be DNA or RNA. So what is virus? Viruses are living organisms which are acellular, non-cytoplasmic and infectious agent. That means they can infect the parasite and they replicate rapidly inside the living cell, only inside the living cell, not outside the living cell. So that is viruses. So viruses are microscopic organisms which infect humans, plants, bacteria. So that is bacteriophage viruses. They are responsible for many viral diseases like AIDS, COVID-19, COVID-19 and tobacco mosaic diseases. So these diseases mostly contaminated through air, water and infected person. Next हम पढ़ेंगे discovery of viruses. So the term coined virus was given by M. Beznik and the discovery of viruses D. Ivansky. So first in 1886, Adolf Meyer described tobacco mosaic disease, which was seen in tobacco plants. So this disease can be transmitted from one plant to another through a sap. Sap is nothing but that is watery fluid of plant. In 1892, D. Ivansky said that tobacco mosaic disease was a ultra filtrable infectious agent. What do you mean by ultra filtrable infectious agent? Ultra filtrable means there can be filtered through the filter used for bacteria, and that can be infectious because they can cause infectious disease. So that is called infectious agent. Which agent cause infectious disease? So that is called infectious agent. So viruses causes infectious disease, so that is called infectious agent, and which can be filterable, so that is called ultra filterable infectious agent. Next, in 1898, M. Beznik said that the agent in tobacco mosaic disease was not a microorganism. जो वायरस है, according to M. Beznik, that is not a microorganism, that is a contagious poisonous fluid. That means contagious mean they can be contaminated plants, animals, humans. They can be transfer and contaminated and poisonous, that is vivum, and fluid, that is liquid part. So according to M. Beznik, the contagious poisonous fluid is known as contagium vivum fluidium. Contagium vivum fluidium. M. Beznik coined the term virus from Latin word, that is virion. Virion means poison. virion means poison. But the discovery of viruses, D. Evansky discovered the virus. D. Evansky discover the virus. But the term viruses coined by M. Beijnik. That is very important short questions. So next हम देखेंगे फ्रेडरिक टॉट डिस्कवर्ड bacteriophage. What is bacteriophage? Phage means phage, which is here virus. Mean phage mean kill, which kill the bacteria, that is called bacteriophage. So Frederick Todd discovered bacteriophage, which is a virus. And also W.M. Stanley isolated purified some tiny white crystal from the leaves of mosaic infected tobacco plants. That means he want to say that W.M. Stanley discovered the protein part. So crystals means that is a protein. Okay. So virus protein is discovered by W.M. Stanley. Next, Bowden and Peary discovered that the virus composed of both protein as well as nucleic acid. Who discovered? Bowden and Peary. Only protein who discovered? W.M. Stanley. But Bowden and Peary discovered both nucleic acid, which is a genome of virus. Genome. What is genome? Genome is nothing but that contains the genes for expressing the character that contains gene, that is called genome. The electron microscopic image of bacteriophage was first published in 1940. Next, what are the general characteristics of viruses? Viruses, the size is very small. That means 20 nanometer to 400 nanometer or 2 to 3 micrometers. Viruses are acellular, non-cytoplasmic and infectious agent. Due to absence of cytoplasm, they require host to divide or to multiply. So viruses are obligatory parasite. Mostly viruses composed nucleic acid, which is a genome of a virus, and a protein coat, which is a covering which protects the genome. So they are also known as nucleoprotein. Both nucleic acid and protein, that are called nucleoprotein particles. They all are pathogenic, obligatory pathogen, which is bound, compulsory. They cannot survive without host. They require host, so that is obligatory parasite. They are specific for their genetic material. That means specific viruses contain specific genome. That means DNA or RNA. The DNA can be double stranded or can be single stranded. RNA also can be double stranded or single stranded. So DNA and RNA can be double or single. So that are the features of viruses. They are completely parasitic, mean obligatory parasite, and rapidly multiply in the cell of living host. They are responsible for causing the disease that are viral diseases like tobacco mosaic disease, AIDS. Okay, they cause the disease in plant and animals and humans, bacteria. Example: chicken pox, common cold. They are ultra filtrable infectious agent, which was given by who said? D. Evansky. Ultra filtrable infectious agent, which are smaller than bacteria. They don't have any metabolic system to generate energy, so that they require host. They utilize the host enzyme for their multiplication. How the viruses multiply? हम पढ़ेंगे इन नेक्स्ट क्लासेस. They don't grow in culture media which is used for bacterial growth, but if we place them in a bacterial cell culture they can grow. They complete their life cycle by two way. One is lysogenic cycle or another is lytic cycle. The lysogenic and lytic cycle is very very important for your competitive exam or any college level exam. Okay, so lytic cycle mean, in lytic cycle the virus repeatedly multiply and released immediately by rupturing the bacterial wall, but in lysogenic it takes some times to rupture the cell wall of the bacteria. What are the general structure? Mostly viruses composed of nucleic acid as well as protein, so that is called nucleoprotein. Nucleoprotein. Protein part makes covering which is a capsid, and the nucleic acid is a viral genome. Capsid. What is capsid? Why require capsid? So capsid is a protein coat or protein cover which encloses the nucleic acid for protection. Capsid is nothing but it is a protein covering for protection. For protection. Protection to the viral genome. And each capsid is composed of a definite number of identical proteins that are known as capsomeres. कैप्सूमियर फॉर्म कर रहा है कैप्सिड. कैप्सिड कैप्सूमियर से फॉर्म है. सो कैप्सिड इज ए प्रोटीन कोट and inside a protein subunit that are called capsomeres, and each capsomere is a composed of specific amino acids. Each capsomere is made up of a definite number of amino acids. What are the functions? First function is protection. Second, recognition of the host. It helps to the virus in recognition the host and help in surface adsorption. How they adsorb? They contain spike, which it is a protein coat. It is a spike which help in surface adsorption, and it provides shape to virus, and it also recognition of virus. Specific viruses contain specific type of coat. Many viruses are enveloped, some are non-enveloped. Okay. Nucleic acid viruses are specific. Specific viruses contain specific type of nucleic acid. They always contain one type of nucleic acid, that may be DNA or RNA, but never together. So that is specific. Also DNA can be double stranded or single stranded, and RNA can be double stranded or single stranded. Each nucleic acid has normal components like pentose sugar, nitrogenous base, phosphodiester bond. The nucleic acid occupy a definite position within the capsid. Nucleic acid randomly not float in the inside the capsid, but it has occupies definite position within the capsid. Okay, example of a different type of nucleic acids are can be double stranded DNA viruses or single stranded. Double stranded DNA, single stranded DNA. Double stranded DNA in a plant is called leaf mosaic viruses. Dahlia mosaic viruses. In bacteria, double stranded DNA is T phase, lambda phase. Lambda phase causes lysogenic cycle, and T phase causes lytic cycle. In animal cases, pox viruses, herpes viruses, single stranded DNA like in plant bean golden mosaic viruses, in bacteria QX174, in animal parvoviruses, RNA as a nucleic acid, double stranded RNA in a plant like rice dwarf viruses, wound tumor viruses, bacteria Q6, animal is rotaviruses, reovirus. Animal mean these are hosts. These are hosts. Single stranded RNA viruses in plants like TMV. TMV means tobacco mosaic viruses. In bacteria, MS2, F2. In animal, pleuronavirus, retrovirus. What are the function of a nucleic acid? First is responsible for replication. It is responsible for infectious property. It is responsible for replication inside the cell. When it enter into host body, only nucleic acid enter, not entirely body enter, because the genome is injected to the host through a hole which is formed by lysogen enzyme which is present in the viruses. Based on the presence of envelope, two type of viruses, one is enveloped and second one is naked viruses. Enveloped means the protein coat covered with a mostly glycolipid layer or a glycoprotein layer, that is envelope, and naked virus means no envelope outside the protein coat. Enveloped viruses, in some viruses additional protein layer is present, mostly protein layer, and some uh, glucose also, sugar also present, so that is glycoprotein. Okay, this layer is known as the envelope. In some viruses additional protein layer is present which cover the capsid and nucleic acid, this layer is known as envelope. So the viruses are under enveloped, that is called enveloped viruses. The envelope contains spike like structure. Spike, these are spikes. So these spikes mostly glycoprotein which make the virus more dangerous, infectious, and help in penetrate to the body, host body. This spike protein mediate the virus's attachment and entry into host cell. Some spike also contain DNA enzyme, reverse transcriptase enzyme, RNA polymerase enzyme, which help in the virus's penetration and replication. DNA which damage the DNA, and reverse transcriptase means RNA to DNA. RNA polymerase help in RNA multiplication. Example of enveloped viruses: HIV, coronaviruses, herpes virus. Next, this is the structure of enveloped viruses. These are spikes, that is glycoprotein. Glycoprotein. Glyco means glucose part, that is carbohydrate, it is protein part. So glycoprotein is composed of both carbohydrate and protein, that is glycoprotein. It is a spike. It is a capsid which is a protein coat, which is only a protein. Nucleic acid which can be DNA or RNA depending on the which type of viruses. Next, what are naked viruses? Naked means don't contain any envelope, don't contain any envelope, no envelope. That are naked viruses like TMV, TNV, etc. Naked viruses only contains capsomeres, which is a subunit of capsid. It is a protein covering. It is a protein covering which protect the virus genome. It is viral genome. It can be DS or SS, DNA or RNA. Mostly RNA viruses are naked viruses, and mostly double stranded DNA viruses are enveloped viruses. So some questions. A fully formed viral particle is called virion, which is a mature viral particle. Fully formed viral means mature. The mature viral particle, that is called virion, which is a Latin words that means virus. Why do virus infect only living organism? Because viruses are a cellular, non-cytoplasmic and infectious agent, and they don't have their own metabolic system to produce energy, so they require parasites, so they require hosts, so that are completely parasitic by obligatory parasite. Viruses are obligatory parasite. It is very important short questions. Why viruses are obligatory parasite? Because the viruses without host, they cannot survive in outside the body of the host.